Hi everybody, thank you for coming today. I'm going to begin by sharing my screen with a PowerPoint that I made for this presentation today. Today we're going to be talking about equity, technology in our school district. My name is Lauren Camp. I'm a 5th grade teacher at East Lansing Schools. Good afternoon, principals and East Lansing local school board members. Today I'm presenting to you the areas of inequity that is shown in our district and needs to change to make our students feel safe at our school. There are many areas where our district lacks supporting students of all cultural backgrounds, which needs to be addressed. What is equity? The National Association of Colleges and Employers defines equity as fairness and justice, and it distinguishes from equality. Whereas equality means providing the same to all, equity means recognizing that we do not all start from the same place and must acknowledge and make adjustments to imbalances. This is a definition that we need to take into account with today's presentation. Here are some areas where inequity is shown in our school district. Low-income students having little to no access to technology in their homes. And special education programs are not given the funding needed to have technological devices that will enhance their learning and communication in the classroom. This is an issue that we need to solve. Let's first begin by talking about inequity with low-income students in technology. Students are given assignments that require the internet or access to technology that they don't have. A statistic from Global Citizen states, Pew Research Center released a study on Friday reporting that 1 in 5 U.S. teenagers can't finish their homework because of the digital divide. If we think about it, many of our students, some of them coming from low-income families, don't have access to internet or a device to use to finish these assignments. Therefore, it's unfair to them in this case, and we need to find the funding to provide them either with a technological device to do these assignments or a hotspot or internet source where they can do this as well. Societal factors that affect low-income students. These students obviously won't be able to do their homework assignments or other learning activities that involve the use of internet or technology. The students will have less opportunity than other students. Students' overall learning will lack in the technological area, which are basic skills critical in this era. As a society today, we use technology in many aspects of life. And having access to technology and to use these for homework assignments will be so critical for the students' future with technology. It can support them in finding jobs and many other things. Next is lack of funding for special education programs. Our current special education programs are not given the funding needed in order to have digital devices that will help students communicate and learn, also known as assistive technology. Some examples of assistive technology could be iPads or voice text pieces of technology to use, and many other things where students can use pictures to communicate that will voice their concern, and this will help them with their overall learning. An article from Reading Rocket states, in general, AT as an assistive technology compensates for a student's skills deficit or areas of disability. However, utilizing assistive technology does not mean that a child can't also receive remedial instruction aimed at alleviating deficits. A student could use remedial reading software as well as listen to audiobooks. In fact, research has shown that assistive technology can improve certain skill deficits, such as reading and spelling. Let's talk about the societal factors that affect students in the special education program. Without these devices, there is a lack of communication between students and their teachers. Students won't have the same learning opportunities and development. What our students in the special education program are missing out, according to this article, is, as cited, assistive technology for people with special needs is compromised of different strategies, devices, mechanical or not, that may be specialized to a certain disability, such as aids, exteria, that assist them in learning, make the environment more accessible, enable them to compete in the workplace, enhance their independence, otherwise improve their quality of life. Another article explains, the mandate to provide assistive technology to children with special needs is grounded in the moral concerns protected by the U.S. Constitution and its amendments. The Education for All Handicapped Children Act was based on the Supreme Court's 1954 Brown v. Board of Education decision that separate education was not equal education under the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Therefore, by law, we need to make sure that these sources are given to our program and that our special education program has these different devices that we can communicate with these students better, especially for those who are maybe hard of hearing or have trouble and difficulty talking, and many other students with special needs could use these devices as a way of learning and developing as a learner overall. What I would like to do in my classroom. I want to enable equal access for all my students to have a digital device or internet at home. I also want to make sure that students with learning disabilities in my classroom have access to assistive technology to help with their learning, development, and communication, so I can better their learning. Now let's talk about addressing the changes needed. How can the district help solve inequality in our schools? One way of doing this is funding for netbooks or tablets students from low-income families in special education programs can use. We can also have funding or grants for hotspots or internet for students without internet access. A statistic states, overall, 4.4 million households with students still lack consistent access to a computer, and 3.7 million lack internet access. During these critical times in COVID, this is something that we really need to look at and find the funding to resolve. How would we get the funding? We need to consider budgeting and the cost of supplying these devices to both low-income students and the special education program by using the funds the state and the federal government give to each school. We also could obtain a grant from the local government to cover these costs. Another source states, 5 years ago, the average per pupil cost of technology and education ranged from $142 to $490. We need to find this funding for our students so they can have a better learning experience than they are now. We lack in equity, and it's our time to show them that we are here for them and we're going to support them and their learning all the way. Here are my sources from today's presentation. I hope I encouraged you all to make a change with equity in our school district, and so that we can find the funding for our students to enable better access to their learning development. Thank you and have a great day.